G'day guys, welcome to episode 53 of Ask Jack D. Today I take a question from Chris Samios, who asked, how did we get listed as the 4th best place to work in Australia? And I talked to you about 3 or 4 very counterintuitive, the exact opposite to what everybody else does, principles on which we have built our culture here at the Entourage.
Titles made quickly came from the sky with the light of day in me, and grew my own wings so the pilot came with me.
G'day guys, welcome to episode 53 of Ask Jack D. Thank you for joining us for yet another episode. Today we take a question from Chris Samios, who asks, hashtag Ask Jack D, can you share a few of the reasons why the Entourage became one of the top 3 workplaces to work recently? Chris, brilliant question. Just last week we were named, we weren't in the top 3, we were named the 4th best place to work in Australia by BRW magazine, which was a really meaningful milestone for me and for us, because leadership and culture is something that I've been obsessing about since I was about 14, right? So of all the lists and awards and all that sort of stuff that goes on, this is a particularly meaningful one. What are some of the reasons why we ended up on that list? It's been interesting for me over the last week to have a lot of discussions. We won this award, literally probably 5 days ago or something. And there's been a lot of conversations and different interviews and things since then around this exact topic. And one of the things that I've discovered through having those conversations, which I hadn't actually thought about previously, is that I've never worked in another company. I've never worked in a traditional organization. I've never worked in a corporation, right? I've worked cleaning stuff at the butcher's when I was 14 and 15, like everybody, working through school and doing those kind of gigs. But I've never worked in a career organization. So I approach culture with an absolute blank canvas, bringing only my sense of leadership, everything I've learned about leadership, psychology, enabling people to do their life's best work, what enables me to do my life's best work, caring about people, basic human understanding, psychology, all of these different principles and nuances bringing to this blank canvas. I don't know how to set up, and God, I hate this term, corporate culture, right? I've never been in a world where that's been a thing. I come at it from first principle reasoning, which means you go back to basics, right? Often there's constructs around any field, be it culture, be it marketing, be it sales, be it whatever. And I think a lot of the time entrepreneurs that don't have traditional education, this is a huge advantage, because rather than coming into a particular field with an existing construct in our mind as to how something should happen, we go with first principle reasoning, which is basically going right back down to basics and only doing what works and testing and trying something new. And if it works, we do more of it. And if it doesn't, then we don't. We have zero preconceived ideas about what we should be doing. And that's an advantage, right? So that helps, not buying into the textbook or the corporate or the traditional culture methodologies that get thrown around that I think today are either no longer apply or actually can be detrimental, right? We've got 70 staff here now. The average age is probably like 30, right? So we're a very young organization. And so we've created a vision, mission, and values-driven organization, which is incredibly high performance, that is incredibly fun to work at. Like there's everything from, behind me is our advisor team, then there's a wow factory, then there's our entrepreneur development managers, then there's our product. Over here is the obligatory table tennis table. Down there are the obligatory beanbags. Don't think culture is about beanbags and table tennis tables. It's not. Right? It goes much deeper than that. Culture is about the essence and the soul and the spirit of an organization. Table tennis just gives you something to do when you want to have a 15-minute break, right? It had nothing to do with culture. Right? And so we've got 70 of and people love being here, and we go the extra mile and we do more and we push the organization closer toward the vision every single day. And we've got 70 people that genuinely care about our members and our students and our community, and that shines through. How did we foster that? Firstly, you foster it by being unapologetic and non-negotiable when it comes to culture. So we assess every human being that comes through our recruitment process, which is a lengthy and very hard one. Our recruitment process is built on a process of deselection. We are trying to get the people that come through our recruitment process to deselect themselves. We're not selling us to the people that are coming. We're doing the opposite. We're trying to scare the shit out of the people sitting over the other side of the desk so that they go, no, this is too hardcore for me. This isn't for me. I'm out, right? best case scenario, because if you get to the end, you know, the individual that gets to the end of that recruitment process that's still standing and like standing there going, this sounds like exactly where I need to be and the challenge that I want, and you guys are just as freaking crazy as I am and I love it. They're the individual that might just be crazy enough to work somewhere like here, right? Now, the essence of the human being that we're exploring through the recruitment process comes down to 4 things, right? So please write these down if it's of interest. Number 1, we're looking at the soul of the individual. Does this person have a good energy, right? I believe that as human beings, we are here to evolve as human beings. We're here to evolve as spiritual beings. So when it comes to soul, does this person have a yearning for evolution? Do they have a yearning for growth? Will they bring a growth approach to everything that they do? That's soul. The second thing is heart. Are they a good person, right? Do they genuinely care? Have they been through trialing times in the past? Have they been through adversity? How did they overcome that adversity? Are they nice to other people? Are they kind? Are they coming with the right intention, right? To serve and contribute and to progress. Really, really important. So, just a side note for a second. I don't look at resumes, right? I've got other people that do. Looking at resumes is important. It's just that I don't. But don't stick to the resume. The resume and the conversation around competence should be like 30% of the conversation. The other 70% is the exploration of the human being. So we've got soul, heart. Number 3 is head. Are they switched on? Are they sharp? And this is where we do assess. Do they have the competence and the skills or the experience, whatever is required, to do the job satisfactorily, and to what degree we're going to need to train and develop this individual? Then the 4th thing we look at is their hand, which is their work ethic. Working somewhere like this place is crazy, right? It requires crazy hours. Rosie's laughing as I'm saying it because she knows that it's true, right? We do more in a quarter than most organizations do in a year, literally. Our 70 people achieve more in a month than most organizations do in a year, literally, right? It happens. So you got to have a heavy hand and a heavy work ethic about what you can do. It is my belief that when an individual's soul, their higher self, is aligned with their heart, is aligned with their mind, and flows through to the work that they do with their hand on a daily basis, that is what enables an individual to do their life's best work. And that is the philosophy that our entire culture is based on. Let me ask you guys a question in the comments below. What is the best work environment you have ever seen? Might have worked in, might have seen, might have observed, might have read about, and what was the number 1 reason it was great? So what was the best environment you ever seen and why? Questions and comments below. I look forward to speaking with you guys tomorrow.